Right now on Denver 7 News at 4, deadly fentanyl overdoses are rising in the state while suspected dealers sidestep the law. Denver 7 investigates a broken system, leaving no accountability for the accused.
The nationwide veterinarian shortage is especially bad in rural areas. The financial help that students are getting to encourage them to practice in these communities. And we're feeling the immediate impacts of fuel surcharges on Uber and Lyft. But we're looking into the potential long-term impacts that high gas prices are having on the gig economy.
Plus, baseball is back. Opening day for the Rockies has brought the hustle and bustle back to Lodo. We hear from fans excited to see the city come back alive. Now that was a strike. Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson throws out the ceremonial first pitch to another new name, Kris Bryant. That officially kicks off the Rockies season. Thanks so much for joining us for Denver 7 News at 4. I'm Jason Grenauer. It is opening day for the Rockies, but the team unfortunately is currently trailing the LA Dodgers 5-2. But let's take a live look at Coors Field as the game continues. The downtown area starting to look a little bit more like normal with those packed rooftops and parking lots out there near the View House. And of course, excitement in the air for baseball fans both inside the stadium and outside now that baseball season has officially started. So we sent Denver 7's Danny New to Coors Field to experience everything going on around outside the stadium. Danny, what's it like out there?
Oh my gosh, there are so many people here, Jason. We got here at 11, and it's just been this packed all day. And don't even get me started on the parking, because that took forever too. But that's okay. It's just so happy. You know, the first day of baseball, it's very hopeful, right? Any season is a new season. Anything can happen. It's up to the baseball gods. It's not up to us. And also, it means spring is here. It's warm out. I mean, obviously, we would have loved if this season started earlier, but we have to be advantageous because that's our only choice. So we have to be like, hey, we got a way warmer day out of this. It's 65 and sunny for a beautiful first game. So I'm loving this, and everyone here is having a really good time.
Well, Danny, this is your first opening day here in Denver, here in Colorado, out there at McGregor Square. What's the vibe? What's the uniqueness? What's the interesting stuff you've come across?
First off, I have never seen this much beer being drunk before noon since college, so that was a first for me. Like I said, we got here at 11 and people were just drinking and having such a good time. I mean, we were down by Union Station and it was just an absolute block party, like just everyone was out. The most unique thing I've seen today was this. So obviously, like you said, Rockies are down 5-2 now, but in the second inning, when it was 0-0 and the Rockies did not have a hit yet, the broadcast team started interviewing Russell Wilson, our new savior, and as they started interviewing him, all of a sudden, Rockies hit a double. First hit of the game, all of a sudden, they're up 2-0, and it just felt like, okay, the Russell Wilson magic has begun. They need to go back and interview him again so we get more of that magic for us.
Sounds good, Danny. And from now on, anytime the Rockies are down, which may be a lot this season, they can just go and interview Danger Russ again. Our Danny New, thanks so much. Enjoy yourself out there. All right, well, baseball experts, they don't have much faith in the Rockies this season. Las Vegas and their sports books, they don't have much faith in the Rockies this season. But in a world of negativity, we're going to give the Rockies a little bit of love to start this year. Let's look on the bright side to start this season, where everyone is 0-0. Everybody's on a level playing field. The Rockies did make some off-season moves, acquiring former MVP Kris Bryant. That was a key one of those moves. And we chatted with some fans today. They were optimistic.
I think there's a really positive vibe between the players. I think that's what it boils down to, is if the guys get along well and work well together, then they're going to play well together too.
We are excited to see what the new players are going to do, what Bryant brings to the team. We're definitely missing Tapia, Story, Gray. We're loyal fans. We're going to be here no matter what.
Yeah, especially if this weather keeps up. The Rockies play the Dodgers at home all this weekend, and then the Cubs come to town. That's next weekend. Well, this baseball season expected to bring a whole lot of foot traffic to the neighborhood near Coors Field. In 2019, more than 380,000 people were in Lodo for opening day. In 2020, the pandemic hit. Last year, the number of fans increased to about 230,000. The city says foot traffic is increasing every day downtown, and today the city is expecting pre-pandemic crowds.
Well, in 2019, which is a great marker, just right pre-pandemic, we saw 100,000 additional people in downtown for opening day. We are fully projecting that we will see those types of crowds again, and I would even guess we might see bigger crowds because there's so much pent-up energy for people to be back in downtown.
And with so many people downtown, Denver police, they're making sure fans stay safe this weekend. Patrols are going to be posted from Union Station all the way over to Coors Field and around the field. That means if you're drinking, take an Uber, take a bus, or just walk to the game. Those scooters are around there too for a reason. Now drivers, those should also be on the lookout for fans, including pedestrians and cyclists and those scooterists who are also trying to share the road.
Be cognizant of the mass number of pedestrians are going to be on foot downtown, people on scooters, people on bikes. We always want to make sure that everybody's careful in the way they get to and from the game.
Now DPD says that people should call them if they see anything suspicious out there. Now the Rockies, though, they're also giving back to the Front Range and the community. The Rockies Foundation raises $1 to $2 million each and every year. Now since the team started, that's a total investment of $36 million in the community.
As a high-profile organization, we know that we want to make a difference and give back, and we have the ability to do it. And to be able to use our players in a manner that allows them to go out and influence young athletes or young people in school, it's an opportunity for us to try to make a difference in our community.
Now the club focuses on low-income inner-city youth programs in the areas of health, education, physical fitness, literacy, and their RBI programs for youth sports. Now we'll have more Rockies coverage throughout the evening. You can also find everything you need to know about today, which is, of course, opening day. That's up right now on the denverchannel.com and the Denver 7 mobile app.
It has taken 232 years and 115 prior appointments for a Black woman to be selected to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States. But we've made it.
Taking a look at some national headlines, President Biden, along with Vice President Harris, led the celebrations today at the White House following Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's historic confirmation. Judge Jackson is the first Black woman to be elevated to the Supreme Court. Every single Democrat in the Senate and 3 Republicans, Senators Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Mitt Romney, voted for her. Judge Jackson won't be on the bench, though, until her mentor, Justice Stephen Breyer, officially retires from the court this summer. This confirmation means the Supreme Court will now have 4 women on the bench, and for the first time in our nation's history, white men will be in the minority. Meantime, several members of the Biden administration and Washington A-listers were forced to miss that celebration due to testing positive for COVID-19. At least 17 officials and people close to President Biden have tested positive for the virus. Speaker Nancy Pelosi tested positive Thursday, and staff members for both First Lady Jill Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris also tested positive recently. Both were seen close to President Biden in recent days. Today, though, the president himself did test negative.
Certain standards of care requirements relaxed during the pandemic are going away. Now, this affects nursing homes and other long-term care facilities. Temporary emergency waivers will soon expire. They allowed facilities to restrict certain in-person activities, including medical examinations, and use telehealth instead. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services says these facilities are now in better shape to manage COVID-19. People working in the field of organ transplants say the need for lung donors has increased because of COVID-19. The virus is the underlying cause for about 10% of all lung transplants now. That's according to the United Network for Organ Sharing. Lungs are the newest organ to be transplanted regularly, but doctors say they're also the most underutilized. Now technology to increase the number of lungs available is expanding rapidly.
So there are lots of new technologies, that are on the horizon. Perfusion is here and now.
I mean, you can really see the whole lungs on this machine as opposed to when we were seeing it in the donors. I mean, sometimes you can't really get the whole picture because, they're still in the chest.
Those doctors are talking about a technology that they have dubbed lungs in a box. These are pictures Northwestern Medicine shared with us of working with the device. It's a machine that keeps lungs going outside of the body. This lets doctors treat them for various infections and other issues that might have otherwise ruled them out for a transplant.
We really scrutinize these lungs to make sure they're better than they were actually looking on before we extract them, then we can safely use them for certain recipients.
by increasing the donor pool, and even if we could use 50% of the lungs that we bring back, we can make a big difference in patients' waitlist mortality and their outcomes.
The number of perfused lung transplants is steadily increasing. Northwestern is among several hospitals using similar technology to increase the number of lungs, hearts, and livers available. It's critical for patients like the one Northwestern first implanted who has a rare blood type.
If I did any kind of exertion, I was out of breath. I couldn't breathe.
It's just pretty amazing that they could do something like that. But my first thought went straight to the old movie Frankenstein, keeping organs alive outside of the body.
On average, about 100,000 people daily are waiting for an organ. Transplant numbers are increasing steadily to around 40,000 a year. Last year was another record for lives saved.
But clearly it highlights, that there is an unmet need out there in the community. And these are people who, come from all walks of life and are in desperate need of an organ.
Now, it is important to note that April is National Donate Life Month. You can become a donor through the DMV or unos.org. You can even register on the iPhone Health app right now. A little over half of the U.S. population is a registered donor. A decision to limit coverage of new controversial Alzheimer's drug is official. Medicare announced its final decision on Aduhelm. Now, it will only cover treatment costs for the drug for people enrolled in a clinical trial. The unprecedented decision came after Aduhelm narrowly received FDA approval based on limited data. It was effective. The decision could affect access to future Alzheimer's treatments going before the FDA soon. Well, as you make plans for a summer vacation, don't expect to travel like you did before the pandemic. What to know about the deals that hotels are now offering and what to consider before using travel points that you may be saving up.
Also coming up, thousands of fentanyl pills are found on Denver's streets, and dealers continue to walk away without punishment. The shocking data Denver 7's investigative team uncovered, and the reaction from Denver's most powerful leaders.